We all want to believe in the fairy tale, the eternal flame that never dies. But sometimes, when you look closely at your own life, the reality is stark, cold, and quiet. If you're watching this right now, chances are you already feel a distance, a chill where there once was warmth. You're searching for an honest answer to a painful, fundamental question. Does she still love me? I want you to stop guessing right now. I'm your name, and in this video, we are going to look honestly at the 11 undeniable signs that her love may have faded. This is not about assigning blame, and it is certainly not about making you feel bad. It is about gaining absolute clarity. Understanding these signs is the essential first step toward healing, reclaiming your peace, or, perhaps, finding the courage for one last honest attempt to fix things. Let's dive deep into the truth. Category 1. Communication and connection. The first signs of fading love always appear in the way you talk, or, more accurately, the way you don't talk. Sign 1. The emotional wall. Think back to when you first started dating. She used to tell you everything. The fight with her boss, the silly thing her friend said, the tiny details of her morning commute. Now ask yourself, does she still share her day, or just the logistics of it? If the deep, intimate details, her genuine fears, her aspirations, her struggles, are now reserved for friends, her sister, or kept entirely to herself, she has built an emotional wall. She is becoming functionally present in your life, but emotionally absent. Sign 2. The effortless conversation. Following that emotional wall, the conversations you do have become incredibly shallow and transactional. They revolve around bills, the kids' schedules, or what groceries you need. When you try to pivot the discussion, perhaps asking a deeper question like, "How are you really feeling about work?" her response is short, a clipped, "Fine," or a dismissive, "Nothing." She is no longer willing to invest the energy required to connect with you. She settles for the minimum effort needed to maintain the illusion of a relationship, indicating her emotional resources are being directed elsewhere. Sign 3. She stops fighting. This is often the most confusing sign because we're taught that fighting is bad. But in a loving relationship, arguments show passion, investment, and a mutual desire to fix the issue. When you raise a legitimate concern, does she engage? Does she argue her side passionately? Or does she simply agree quickly, shut down the conversation, or, worst of all, just walk away without resolution? When she no longer cares enough to fight for the relationship or for a resolution to your problems, that's when you know her investment is gone. Indifference is the opposite of love. Category 2. Affection and physical intimacy. As the emotional connection dissolves, the physical bonds inevitably follow. Sign 5. The absent touch. Pay attention to the non-sexual touch. Does she pull away subtly when you reach for her hand? Does she tense up when you try to cuddle on the couch during a movie? Her body language becomes perpetually closed off. She keeps her arms crossed, she faces away from you in bed, or she offers a quick, cold cheek instead of a full kiss goodbye. The physical bond fades because, without the emotional desire, touch feels like an obligation, not an expression of love. Sign 5. Zero sexual initiative. While frequency can fluctuate for many reasons, the key sign here is the initiation. If intimacy becomes rare, mechanical, or only happens because you initiate it, it's a huge flag. The major sign is that she never initiates. When a woman is deeply in love, she expresses that passion physically. If sex feels like a chore she performs reluctantly, rather than a desire she shares openly, she is emotionally shutting down that side of the relationship. Category 3. Time and attention. Where we spend our time is where we spend our love. Sign 6. She prioritizes everyone else. Her schedule is suddenly packed. She has new interests, she's seeing her friends more, she's taking on extra projects at work, or she's spending hours scrolling through her phone. But when you suggest a dedicated date night or a weekend trip, She cancels easily or reschedules indefinitely. She is emotionally investing her precious free time and energy elsewhere, and you are no longer the default centerpiece of her life. Sign 7. The unsolicited critic. Everything you do seems to become a problem. She starts to nitpick your small habits, the way you load the dishwasher, your clothes, or your hobbies. She's no longer gently guiding you. She is actively criticizing. This isn't constructive feedback. It's subtle, or sometimes not so subtle, pushing. She is trying to create distance and validate her own decision to check out by focusing on your flaws. Sign 8. The future is I, not we. Listen closely to her language when discussing long-term plans. If you talk about a vacation next year, buying a bigger house, or even retirement, does she consistently use singular pronouns, I, me, my career, instead of us, we, and our goals? When the love fades, she begins subconsciously planning a life and a future that does not necessarily include you. Category 4. Respect and emotional investment. These final 3 signs deal with the deepest level of commitment, mutual respect and care. Sign 9. The indifference to your needs. You come home from a terrible, stressful day at work. You share a problem with your family or a major personal worry. How does she respond? If her reaction is a dismissive, "That sucks," a change of subject, or if she seems more concerned with her show on TV, she has stopped being your emotional anchor. A loving partner cares deeply about your pain. An indifferent one sees it as an inconvenience. Sign 10. The hidden phone or secrecy. While this isn't always a sign of cheating, it is a sign of building a private life that excludes you. She suddenly becomes overly protective of her phone, always keeping it face down. She's vague about her whereabouts or changes the subject when you ask about a new colleague. This intense secrecy is a symptom of her emotional checkout. She has built a separate psychological barrier you are not allowed to cross. Sign 11. You feel like a roommate. This is the culmination of every sign. You live in the same house, share the same bed, maybe even have children together, but there is no warmth, no joy, and certainly no passion. You exist together with polite neutrality. She treats you with the same detached respect she would give a good friend, or worse, a landlord. When a partner offers you courtesy instead of connection, companionship instead of intimacy, she has emotionally disengaged and is viewing you as a cohabitant, not a life partner. What do you do now? If these signs resonated, take a deep breath. Hearing this truth is incredibly tough, but remember this. This is not your fault, and it does not make you a failure. Her love fading is about her emotional journey, her choices and the dynamics of the relationship, not your inherent value as a partner. Now, you must choose one of 2 courageous paths. Path 1, the last effort conversation. Sit her down at a neutral time, calmly and without accusation. Do not use you statements. Use I statements. I feel a distance. I miss our connection. I feel like we've become roommates. Is there something we need to talk about? Give her a safe space to be honest. Path 2, accepting reality. If you've already tried everything, if she confirms she's checked out, or if she continues to treat you with indifference, you must choose self-respect and begin the process of moving on. Crucially, do not chase her. Do not beg, plead, or try to force her to love you. That only pushes her further away and destroys your dignity. Focus entirely on you. Get back to your friends, your hobbies, your fitness. Be the man she will regret losing, not the one who begged her to stay. You deserve a love that is enthusiastic, present, and mutual. Don't settle for being tolerated. The truth hurts, but it sets you free. What was the biggest, most undeniable sign you noticed in your relationship? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing your experience can help countless others going through the same confusion and pain. If this video gave you the clarity and the courage you needed today, please hit that like button and subscribe for more relationship wisdom and advice. I'll see you in the next video.